The embattled Senator Elisha Abbo, representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, who was caught in a footage of CCTV camera assaulting a woman in an adult shop in Abuja, is back again in the news, this time around with more allegations trailing his name. Hi guys, you're watching Chiki series. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your support. I quite appreciate that. And if you're new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing by clicking on the red subscribe button. Also hit the bell icon, that way you get notification whenever I upload a new video. So more allegations are out trailing this Senator Abbo of Adamawa North Senatorial District. Recently, a lady known as Eunice Tochukwu Ojukwu spoke to Saturday's Sun discussing how Senator Elisha Abbo married her elder sister, who was his late ex-wife, and how he allegedly battered her, assaulted her. This lady revealed a lot of secrets concerning Senator Elisha Abbo, saying that his real name is Clifford Ishaku, and that the elder sister, Eukeria Uche Cheche Ojukwu, an Igbo lady from southeastern part of Nigeria, got married to him in 2009, months after she took ill, not knowing that Abbo has allegedly infected her with HIV, which led to her untimely death in 2013. And this was what she posted on her Facebook page on 10 December 2013, from Ojukwu Eunice to Ojukwu Uche Eukeria Cheche, that's her elder sister. Thanks to all the good people who knew my sister, may God continue to bless you all. And a massive thank you, Elisha Cliff Ishaku, for wasting my sister's life, and pray the Lord God expose your evil deeds and all the abuse. You won't leave this world unpunished. Your hell will start here on earth. Mark my words. She disclosed that when she made this post, when the sister died, people never took her serious because Abbo never wrote anything on his own page. Eunice said that her sister, Cheche Eukeria, met Abbo in 2008 during her National Youth Service Corps in Nasarawa State. That the two met and became friends when Abbo visited orientation camp. She went further to say that the family kicked against it when the sister came with the story of marriage, not necessarily because they are against intertribal marriage, but simply because they don't know much about Northerners and their culture. After back and forth, Elisha Abbo converted from Islam to Christianity, and they had their church wedding at a Catholic church in Mubi, Adamawa on September 26, 2009. Months after the marriage, the sister took ill, but she didn't know what was exactly wrong with her. She kept treating other ailments, not knowing that she had already been infected with HIV. At this point, the illness has already progressed, but she never knew what was wrong with her. She was taking all treatments, but wasn't getting any better. So someone who observed the frequency of the illness now asked her to go for general tests, and when she went, she realized that she is already positive, and the same person also paid for the test. And when she found out that she was infected and it was at a critical stage, when she confronted her husband with the result, instead of confessing that he had already been infected while they were dating and he was hiding it from her while still going for treatment and sleeping with her without protection, the Abbo of a guy battered her mercilessly. Eunice claimed that when her family, that's the Ojukwus, got to know about the battering incident, they tried to rescue their daughter from the toxic marriage, but that became more difficult than they thought because at some point her father involved Ohaneze Ndigbo in Mubi, begging them to bring back her daughter. The day she finally left in 2012, Senator Abbo followed her to Motor Park and created a scene. He wanted to drag her back, but the father pleaded with the driver to ensure that her sister boarded the bus back to their village in Anambra State. She also recounted ugly incidences that happened with her sister when the man also tried to award her sister, which simply means forcing her against her wish to sleep with her, and even tried to bring his friends so that both of them will sleep with the sister at the same time. So what kind of married man is this? Which married man does twosome with the wife? And that the sister took a lot of stitches as a result of anal allegedly forced on her. He and she is talking about sleeping with her from the back. I'm sure most of you understand what she means. According to Eunice, she said that her sister was a calm person who did not want to lose her marriage, and she kept the information to herself. There were several fights, and when the sister called her, she would plead with the sister to leave the marriage, but she refused. She believed so much in that marriage until she was sick, and that was the instance where they battered her so much in the house in Abuja and dragged her out in the house naked. She also added that anytime Abbo would beat her sister up, neighbors will try to intervene, but he will threaten them with gun. She also revealed that when they were in Abuja, he will dump her in the hospital for days, and no one will be there to give her food till the hospital alerted them, and they had to send someone to her. She and her sister were in and out of the hospital for 6 months before she eventually died in 2013. When the sister died, she said that Abbo called her saying that he was going to deal with her, that she was the one who killed her sister. So Saturday's Sun wanted to know why she is coming out with this story now. Eunice Ojukwu replied that she won justice for her sister. In 2013, when her sister died, she posted it on Facebook. No one took it seriously. Then Abo was a nobody and she was daughter of a nobody. Then social media was not strong as it is now. All she wants is justice and let no one be deceived by those tears that Abo is an evil man. Honestly, I'm sick and saddened by this story. It's very hard to digest, and I don't know the reason why some people decide to hide their health status, their health condition when they want to go into a relationship. For those people that think that it's okay for you to hide your health status during a relationship or in marriage, or even before you get into the marriage, maybe during dating, that is very wrong and that is fraud. I know in Catholic Church that kind of marriage is not valid, knowing fully well that Catholic churches find it difficult to dissolve marriages. But in this kind of situation, the marriage can be annulled. They can even grant you divorce because in the first place, the marriage never existed. The marriage is null. I can't imagine how people can lie when it comes to do with life situations, when it comes to do with life issues, knowing fully well that marriage is a lifetime journey for those people who love themselves and cherish each other. I can't understand why somebody should be lying. This is pure wickedness and inhumanity of man to his fellow man. And again, when it comes to relationship, I don't think people should be lying about their situation or their health status, because at the end of the day, there is somebody out there who will like you the way you are. I worked on HIV projects for more than 5 years and I've seen these things play out often. I've seen people who are not HIV positive marrying people who are HIV positive with them knowing that they are positive. So it doesn't matter whatever your health status is, make it open. There are somebody who will like you the way you are. There is this couple I know that work in the same office. The woman is HIV positive and she had already married before with her daughter, where the man never married, just a young guy. And at the end of the day, the guy knew that this lady was HIV positive because I think she was the support group coordinator in their office, because if you understand HIV project, you know that they have support groups where they support themselves mentally, physically, and psychologically. So most people that head that group, they are mostly HIV positive people. So this guy knew fully well that this lady was HIV positive, but he never stopped him. He went ahead and married her, even with people trying to criticize them, trying to tell him, oh, this lady is HIV positive, why do you want to marry her? Is she the only lady in the world? But the guy still stood his ground. Even the parents discouraged him, his family discouraged him, but he never minded. He went ahead and married the lady. And the lady today has given birth to a baby who is HIV negative. So the point I'm trying to make, when one has any health condition, before you go into any relationship with somebody, let the person know, as this will go a long way in helping the person to make an informed decision about the relationship, whether to stay or not to stay. So that at the end of the day, the person will not feel cheated, because at the end of the day, when the person finds out, the person might definitely leave, or if the person is still in that relationship, the person might not be happy and will not be fulfilled. So for the senator, I think he has an anger management issue and he needs to work on himself. Like I said in my previous video, the link to that video will pop up on your screen right now and you can check it out if you want. He also displayed that before the Senate committee investigating his alleged assault on a woman in an adult shop. The way he reacted to Senator Remi Tinubu, who was the chairman of the committee, was so shameful, disgusting and disgraceful.
We have a procedure and we're also under law. What we're doing as a legislator. You don't come in here when we invite you despite you are a colleague. All right? You are on the other side now. Everybody requires a fair hearing. What is going on with you affects us as a body. All right? That is why the Senate President constituted this committee. And you can see the level and integrity of the people under here. You don't come in here and dictate to us the procedures we are supposed to adopt. And that is, you don't dictate to us because you undermine us by even trying to do that. You haven't even listened to us. Even if we are going beyond what you expect, you can stop us. But you don't come to on the other side and start dictating to us. Do you want us to protect you, or do you want us to defend you, or you want to be on your own? Off that mic and let me finish. Do you realize that the Senate, when we constitute this, whatever the law gives, we can also suspend you? Do you realize that? No, sir.
I will not see you threatening me with suspension.
We are not threatening you. I said we are not threatening you.
I will not sit you threatening with suspension.
All due respect.
With all due respect to you, I will sit here. If I can colleague you, a senator like me, you will threaten me suspension. I take exception.
Off that mic. You are digging a hole for yourself.
All right, then go and bury me.
Okay. I'm also another woman.
Yes, now
be careful.
Ma'am, please. You threaten that you will place me in the floor.
Excuse me, please. You shall be saying, this behavior is not expression of. You will see, You see,
What you are avoiding is happening.
about how many of us senators are here? I didn't believe if you take you have to address the chair. Please.
So guys, let me know what you guys think about the whole allegation in the comment section below. Is Eunice Ojukwu saying the truth? Let's have some conversation. If you love this video, share with family and friends. And remember to subscribe if you've not done already. And I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye.